Hey guys, this is Mr. Farrell. I wanted to give you guys a walkthrough with editing PDFs because I know I posted the instructions, but I think I still have some people confused, especially some of my online kids. If you haven't been in class or you're completely virtual, and I haven't been able to personally walk you through this, so um, if I look I gave you a PDF last week, and there's a PDF this week that I'm asking you to work with. So let me click in here and let's kind of get in here. So this thing right here, if I click on this, this is kind of a walkthrough for what you need to do to be able to use these tools. So here's you're going to do three things here. So the first thing is you're going to watch the introduction video. That's this. And then two, set up the tools, which I can kind of walk you through that here real quick. And then three, these are some videos about each tool. So um, this is the walkthrough. We'll do that together. And then this part here, this tells you what this tool does. And this video will tell you what this tool does. And this video will tell you what this tool does. So that's what this thing is here. Now, let me zoom out here a little bit. So if I go the other way, if we zoom out here, all right, I have a PDF. Normally, you can't write on PDFs and work with PDFs, but we have this toolbar up here that allows me to do that. So how in the world do we get that? Well, you're going to have to do a couple of steps. First thing is we're going to hit this gray puzzle piece, and what you need to do is you need to hit the push pin. So your push pin should be clear. You're going to hit the push pin and make it blue. And when you do, if you saw, this little icon here lived up here. So there's four things that you're going to need to hit the push pin for. You're going to need to hit the push pin for this text help PDF reader. That's this guy. You're going to need to hit the push pin for this guy here, read and write for Google Chrome. You're going to need to hit the push pin, make it blue for Screencastify, and the push pin for Screenshot Reader. So there's four push pins that you're going to make blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You guys don't have this one. This is something for me. Now, once you do that, you're going to need to right click on the PDF or the text help PDF reader. That's this gray sheet with the PDF logo on it, or the PDF word on it. So if you have a Chromebook, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to use two fingers and you need to click. So put your mouse on the PDF reader. You're going to hit both fingers. You're going to click with both fingers, and then you should get a pop-up menu like this. When you get that pop-up menu, you're going to hit options, and then you're going to make sure that you're going to have to check these two boxes. The only box you should have checked is this bottom one. So you're going to make sure these three boxes are checked. Once you're good, you can close out of that. And then the other thing we need to make sure that you have is you're going to right click on this. So two fingers, you're going to click with this if you have a Chromebook. If you have a mouse, you can just use the right clicker on the mouse. You're going to go to options. And we're going to make sure that this slider is turned on. So we're going to make sure that this circles to the right. When you got that, you can close that out. Now, what this does is you should have this toolbar. Now, it's probably gonna ask you for permissions the first time that you set it up and you use it. So it's gonna say what account are you using, and you'll check your school account, and then you'll have to allow. Do you give it permission to use Google Classroom and to use some other things? So you're gonna have to allow for permissions. So this is probably not gonna come up until you select what profile you're using it with, and you allow the extensions permission to work with Google Classroom and the PDFs and stuff like that. Once you hit that, you'll have to refresh it probably. So if you refresh it, then you should get these tools. Now let me tell you a little bit about this. So the typewriter, this T tool, this is the one that we're going to work with a lot. So So I can click and all of a sudden a text box comes up. So let's say I wanted to put my name. So we can put, Mr. Farrell. All right. Now, one thing that I would suggest, or let me show you this first. These arrows, you can move stuff around. Now it's a little easier to see these three dots here. So if you look, my mouse changes when I come over these three dots. I can make the text box big, small. So I would make it only as big as you need it. And I'm going to show you why here in a second. Okay. So my text box went away, but if I click where my words are, I can still have it. So I'm going to move this up here, kind of where names usually go on papers. We're going to hit the check mark and it goes away. Now, the reason we want it to be small is because, or I wanted you to size it, is because let's say, you find the volume of this cube and I'll tell you the volume of that cube is 6. So if you look, this text box extends over here. So even though I hit a check mark and it goes away, when I try to fill this box in, it brings up the box with the 6. That's because this box is everywhere where you see the edge of the box, that's where this box lives. So we're going to make this box small. That way, when I go to click over here, I have a new box. I'm not clicking on the same old box. Okay, that's why that's important. Now, another thing that I want to show you is I forgot about the fact that I have one thing sideways and then I have one thing the other way. But that's okay, because what you can do is you can rotate it. So we need to rotate it this way. So you're going to rotate it counterclockwise. And if you look, all of a sudden these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are the right way. And so I can go ahead, I can put an answer in here. I didn't make this one small. I need to make this one small. Now, you can't, if you look, I can't rotate this box like you could with a Word or Google Doc or anything like that. So I can't rotate the text box, but I can rotate the page. So when I get done with, like, let's say number 5 and I want to work over here, if you look, it keeps it horizontal. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to rotate the page again. And then I'll come back down here and work on this. So I hope that's helpful. If you're having problems, if you can't get this box, one more thing, sorry. One thing I want to tell you guys is this toolbar lives on Chrome. So if you're not using Google Chrome, if you're using a Safari or you're using Firefox or Internet Explorer, any other internet browser other than Chrome, this toolbar is not going to go there because this is a Chrome extension. This lives on Google Chrome. When you sign into your Google Classroom, it should recognize that you're signed into a Google account, specifically your school account. So it should pop up as long as you sign into Google in your Google Classroom and you're using Google Chrome. But if you're having issues, please let me know. We can get this taken care of. Okay, so I hope that helps. I hope you guys are able to work with the PDFs now with no problems. If you have problems, let me know.